Okay, now let's bring in South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Welcome back to the show, Governor. Really, really good having you. So let's talk a little bit about what was going on in the Burisma Biden, Vice President Biden. Now it looks like we had Brian Donalds on the other night who said he witnessed the 1023 document that the FBI has from the whistleblower saying that there were two phone calls allegedly directly to Vice President Joe Biden from Burisma and likely a $5 million payoff. Here's my question. Is the FBI corrupted?
I would say there are some within the FBI that are corrupted, and it needs a major overhaul. Listen, I think we all that have been involved in government or in our local areas have good FBI agents that get up every day and try to do the right thing. I believe that their leaders are corrupt and that they're a part of the situation that's allowing this hypocrisy to go on and using their powers that they have to punish those that they don't like. So listen, Senator Grassley's been digging into this. Byron absolutely has. We've got James Comer, Jim Jordan, all doing very hard work to make sure that these whistleblowers are heard. The unfortunate thing, Eric, that I think is happening so much is that the media just simply isn't covering it. You know, other than you talking about it today and really telling the truth, what these whistleblowers are doing, in many cases, risking their careers. They could be risking endangering themselves by telling the truth. And, you know, that's an honorable thing to do. Even those who work within these agencies and departments recognize that this can't continue, or we literally lose the institution and the republic that is the United States of America.
Very scary that this whistleblower, at least the one that they saw, Byron Donalds and the Oversight Committee saw, this is a confidential informant, which means, by definition, the FBI has been paying this person. They vetted this person. They trust this person. And this person is now saying there's 17 phone calls to the Bidens, 15 to Hunter and to Joe Biden. The question, deep state. Trump has said there's a deep state, meaning the intel departments, they're politicized. Do you believe that?
Absolutely. You know, I've seen it as a governor, trying to interact with the Department of Justice, getting them to take action in situations where federal law is being violated, and they refuse to because it's not politically convenient, or it's not fitting their narrative of what they really want to be coming forward, or it's helping themselves personally to keep their grab and of their hold on power. So absolutely. That is what is so discouraging, I think, to the American people, is that they're recognizing that these intelligence agencies, which we've always relied on to get to the bottom of true criminal situations, are actually in some instances helping to cover it up. So I'm grateful for these whistleblowers. I'm thankful for the Republicans in the House that are doing these types of hearings and bringing to light what's going on. There will be more, Eric. You just wait. The next week or two will blow this country's mind on what comes forward to really point to this type of corruption.
What do you know?
We'll find out. I don't know anything for specifics, but I do know that many of these committees and these in the House are doing work and talking to whistleblowers and getting much more information that I believe is going to continue to build the case that Comer and Jordan and Senator Grassley are working on.
So you bring up it's discouraging to the American people, some of the things that are going on. What may be discouraging to me as a journalist, as someone who watches these things carefully, I went through the Russia hoax that Adam Schiff, when he had the gavel, they put Trump through 2 impeachments. Now they've indicted him twice, but the 2 impeachments are centered around things that ended up being nothing. So here's an opportunity. There was APL, Luna. Sorry, APL, Anna Paulina Luna. She brought potentially a censorship and what turns out could have been a $15 to $16 million fine against Adam Schiff, who was at the center of the Russia hoax, the BS hoax that ended up turning out to nothing. There was a $16 million fine on the table. All you needed was a vote down party lines. And folks, look at these names right here. These are your illustrious 20, I'll call them that. They didn't vote to censor and fine Adam Schiff that money, and they range, across the board. There were 20, and what it did was it killed that censorship in that $16 million fine. What say you against that? We want to talk about discouraging. I was very let down to see those names, Governor.
Well, it's interesting. I didn't have the chance to talk to any of those members that made that choice today. I hope they made it on the right grounds. I feel as though they were fearful of possibly personal consequences that may come because of that, potential political ramifications that they were scared of. I will tell you, in my lifetime in public service, when I've made the toughest decisions and the right decisions, it came to light and the public was with me. The public was always with me, even when everybody in the country was attacking me for a decision I was making. The public understood, and they want the right thing to be done. So it's unfortunate that they're going to have to live with that decision that they made today, and they better hope that they made it for the right reasons and not one that personally was going to benefit them.
Amazing, amazing. I think every Republican in those states and that those people were representing should, I'll say it right now, go ahead and primary those 20. Primary those 20, you'll win, because can you imagine trying to defend, I'm not going to censor Adam Schiff for what he did, what he put Trump through, but forget what he did, how much money he cost the American taxpayer with those 2 impeachments and all that nonsense. I can't imagine they would win on a primary. Governor, the other topic.
Well, Eric, what they've done is that they've endorsed this tool to be used in the future now. They've shown that what Schiff did here can be done again with no consequences. That's what they've done, and that's what they've normalized that's so disgraceful.
Yeah, and whoever holds that gavel can, I don't know, make accusations, false accusations, impeach a president, for God's sake, twice based on that. But the other thing that we saw over the weekend, and it's not going away, folks, and as much as Biden and the left wanted to go away, Pride Month was celebrated over the weekend at the White House. We saw the Pride flag. You can see where well, that's a transgender person right there who is topless. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at next to him or her. That, you know, bare-chested people. I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to be looking at those things, Governor Kristi Noem, but I do know what I didn't want to see is that pride flag front and center on the White House, in the back of the White House lawn there, and 2 American flags flanking it, which is against U.S. flag policy. It's a disgusting display of disrespect to our military. Your thoughts?
Well, it grieved me. It grieved me that this is the leader of our country. The White House that is a respectable place and a representation of all that is America, and we have that kind of behavior going on and endorsed by this country and this country's leaders. So yeah, absolutely, I hated it. And I think that we need to recognize that when you invite people that live a lifestyle like that, you need to expect that they will come and live their lifestyle out in the open with looking like you're giving an endorsement of whatever action they take. That's what this president just did, is say that that's okay. And he said that was okay to our children and to our youth, and it is a degradation of our values in this country, and it's a situation that I hope under a new president never happens again.
You know, it's just amazing. You look at those videos. That's the White House, folks. That's the America's home. That's the house. We built that with taxpayer money. That's not Joe Biden's private backyard. That's the White House that represents every single fallen soldier in America. That flag represents every single fallen soldier in the history of America. 1.2 million people have died protecting that flag, and it flanks a pride flag. Governor, I am absolutely disgusted by it, dismayed. They desecrated the people's house. Governor, final thought before we let you go. But we have a couple of new entrants into the 2024 race. You've been rumored. We've talked about this before, you and I. Is there going to be a Governor Kristi Noem throwing her hat in the ring for President 2024?
Oh, that's not a decision for today. But thank you for inviting me, Eric. I sure appreciate it.
No, we're going to bring you back again. We're going to stay on that. We're going to stay on that. I have a hunch there may be something in the future on that. Governor Noem,
I'm sure
really good
will.
having you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.